This is my new studio. Yo, what is up guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Wildcrow and I want to tell you what I have in my new studio and what do you actually need to make music as a living. Obviously I didn't start making music with all of this. I started in my old bedroom with a really bad computer and cheap headphones, but it was enough at that time. After some time, one summer I got a job and I could save some money to buy a pair of Rocket 5. The speakers I've been using for around 8 years and the ones that you've seen in all my videos. Of course, when I switched from headphones to the speakers, I needed to add some acoustic treatment to the room, because if you use headphones it's not needed, but if you use the speakers the sound is gonna bounce in the walls and you need that. So as I didn't have a lot of money, I decided to build them myself. It wasn't that hard. I just took a piece of plywood, I put the rock wool on top and then fabric. Just that. Of course the design wasn't that good, it didn't have frames to have it like really squared and all of that, but it worked for me. All of that is what you've been seeing since I started making videos 6 years and a half ago, but it was time for an upgrade, to go to the next level. I've moved to a new house with my girlfriend and I decided that one room was going to be entirely for the studio, 100% for it. The first thing I did when I arrived here was to measure the room and go to Geek Acoustics website to know how many panels I needed. For my specific room, the best was to have around 15 panels. Then I decided to go to their 3D tool where you can create your own room. So basically I built this one, I started choosing the panels that they have and I started testing them. I tested basic black panels, white panels with the walls in white, in black, in gray. I tested all the panels like the front walls, I tested all the panels like these ones, and then I decided that the best design, or the one I liked the most, was this. After this it was time to paint the entire room, and then when I got the panels it was time to install them. But actually you can see all of this in my studio building series here on YouTube. Go and check it because there are really cool tips and they are funny videos. As you can see, I have different designs. I have these ones for the side walls, then I have this one for the front wall. For the corners I have the turbo trap that you can see right here, and on the ceiling I have normal white ones. Let me know in the comments if you like the design I have. Actually I love it. To make music obviously you also need a desk, so I decided to get the biggest one I could for this room in IKEA. Yes, of course, maybe some people are gonna tell me that's the worst idea for acoustics because the sound is gonna bounce here, blah blah blah, but in the end here I don't only mix music, I produce, I mix, I make live streams, I make videos, I work in other things. So the bigger the desk the better for me, and also as you can see it's quite clean and empty. That's also a thing I wanted and I kinda needed for my mental health, because in my old studio the desk was really small. I had the speakers, the keyboard, the MIDI keyboard, the screen, the computer, everything there. Every piece of gear was touching like each other and I didn't even have a space to put my own agenda, and I didn't want this at all. But let me know one thing, what is a studio without LED lights? Not a studio, right? Yeah, I know that. I decided to put LED lights around all the ceiling. I tried to get the most LEDs possible per meter, so this way is more kind of diffused. And if anyone wants to know, the type of LEDs I have are the COB that have around 570 LEDs per meter, which is crazy. As you can see, I have here my ultra wide screen. For me it's super useful to have the ultra wide type. For editing videos and for producing music is so useful. And as you can see it's floating because I have an arm behind, so this way I can move it to the front or to the back, but also can have the MIDI keyboard or this small speaker below, so this way I don't need to have them in front of me and this way have more space in the end. If you talk about the speakers, these are the Adam T8V, the ones I've been using in my Wildcrow DJ sets in the past. I've always wanted to use these speakers, but in my old studio was not possible. These are way too big for that desk, for the distance I was. If I put something below them so the desk doesn't vibrate, they were way too high, so it was not possible. And I was kind of desperate to be able to use these ones. I mean, the bass now, Something really cool I found online are these adapters for the cables for the speakers. This way the cables, instead of going like this from behind, they go in 90 degrees. I can have them closer to the bass traps, and I think it's really useful if you want them. I also got a new audio interface that you can see right here. There are several reasons about why I switched to a new audio interface. If you want me to tell them, let me know in the comments. One of them is because of my new microphone, the Shure SM7B, that needs more power. Also, if you pay attention, probably you're not gonna see any cable below. And it is because I got something for the cable management. This way all the cables go through it, all the chargers and all of that. Also for some cables that you can see, for example right there, the cables from the speakers or these cables here, I got this kind of white tubes where you put the cables inside it. So this way, as this studio is quite white, you know, for example the desk is white, the panels are white, you just see a thick white cable and you don't see all the black cables. That will be easy to see, if that makes sense. As you can see, basically my idea for this studio was to look as clean and tidy as possible. Because in the end, if you have something really messy, really dirty, really chaotic, your brain is not gonna be good. You're not gonna focus that much in what you need to focus. You're gonna have too much distractions. You're not gonna be comfortable. And in the end, I want to be really comfortable here and just focus on making music. For me, the best option has always been to have a laptop instead of desktop computer. But again, same thing, I didn't want to have it on top of this desk because, for example, if I have it in this side, they will be interfering with the sound from the speakers. So what I decided to do is to get a drawer, this right here, and have the laptop on top, connected to everything, so this way I don't see it. Last but not least, my first idea for this studio was to have two sides. One is the production side, the one that you see right now to make music, and the second one is the DJ side that I wanted to have behind. So what I did for the DJ side is two things. The first one is to get the Denon SC Live 4, because this one has built-in speakers. Why do I want this? Because here I'm basically gonna use this controller to test things, to practice, and maybe to do some live streams. I don't need really big speakers like this. I'm not gonna make parties in this room. So as this controller has built-in speakers, I don't need extra speakers that need to be somewhere, so this way I don't need that much space. And the second thing was to get an elevable desk from IKEA that I think is called Relatera. It has something on the side that you just roll and it changes height, and for me it's really useful because I can make it go really low, that can go under the acoustic panels like this one, but the one that is right there that you don't see. And when I need it, I just move the desk and make it go really high, that to me it goes around this height, something like this, and I can practice with this DJ controller without needing to connect the speakers, more cables, and maybe need a bigger desk for the speakers. No, as small as possible, just in one corner of the room, not annoying. Perfect. If you want to know how much it cost my new studio, to be honest, I don't really know. Most of the things I already got them, other things were sponsored by brands, and in the end, it doesn't matter. If you want to know, I'm gonna calculate it, I'm gonna put here the total amount of this studio, but to be honest, you don't need to focus on how much it costs the studio of another person, maybe, yeah, just to know because you're interested or whatever. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter because every studio is gonna be different, every need of different people is gonna be different. Maybe you need more panels or less panels or a vocal booth, maybe you need external gear like hardware synth or other things. Maybe you don't need this microphone or you want to spend a lot more in another microphone. So in the end, every budget is going to be completely different. So just try to get the best things possible in your budget. So nothing else, guys. This is my new studio. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And a lot of new content and music is coming from this studio. See you in the next video.